Hi, we're here at the Burgess Premier Small Animal Show. I've been joined by Paul here as a Managing Director of Burgess, and Paul's going to tell us a little bit about the Small Animal Show and why Burgess are involved. Hi, Paul.
Hello there. Yeah, Burgess Pet Care has been involved with this show for many years. In fact, the show's been around for 89 years, which is amazing. We've had a long relationship with it, but we've really pushed it to the forefront because it is the premier small animal show in the country, hence Burgess Premier Small Animal Show.
So what makes it different to the other small animal shows?
What we have here, really, we have the best of the small animal world. So, like many shows in the dog world, certainly in the cat world that people would be familiar with, there are very passionate breeders who are dedicated to pedigree animals. So there's a huge variety of rabbits, over 50 different varieties, 30 plus different sorts of guinea pigs. But there are also show classes for the rats and the gerbils, hamsters, big and small. So there are over 3,000 exhibitors here competing for the top prizes, and it's just as passionate as the big shows that maybe the dog people get to see on the TV.
So, I mean, Crufts is the most recognisable dog show. Is this the equivalent for small animals?
Absolutely, it is. This is the premier show in the country. There are some big regional shows, and a lot of the competitors here will have competed successfully at those, but this is the top one. Okay, we are passionate about our pets, and we are leaders in small animal nutrition, but the big thing that we care a great deal about is the ongoing care. Now, most people start their pet owning experience with a small pet. You know, we can all remember having a hamster when we were little, or maybe a rabbit or guinea pig later, and maybe we graduate to a cat or a dog, but it's those first experiences. And actually, many people get that wrong. They get the wrong pet. If you don't like being kept awake at night, don't get a hamster because they're nocturnal. Basic things like that. But equally, a little bit more serious, rabbits are animals in the wild that get preyed upon. So if you have a very lively child, a lot of loud noise, the rabbit will be frightened. So you have to understand that as a pet, you've got to engage with it and make it comfortable with you. So some of those messages come through by engaging with the public. So we built a huge piece onto the side of the serious business of showing, which is all for, we call them consumers, but it's pet owners to come and learn about those pets, talk to experts, talk to the Burgess Pet Care staff, and learn all about nutrition and care of their pets. Basic thing. Burgess XL, our brand, is the one that is endorsed by most vets. 9 out of 10 vets in the country recommend that as being the best. Yeah. And the reason they do that is, not only is the nutrition great, but in all of the materials we put out, we say, register your pet with a vet, learn how to look after it, make sure its home is correct, handle it properly, all those sorts of things that we just take for granted with cats and dogs, sadly can be absent with the smaller furry pets.
Yeah, and I think the thing, I'm a dog owner, and I know how important nutrition is for dogs, and I think maybe, is it something that may have been neglected slightly with small animals? Because I've noticed that it's something that you're pushing particularly as a really good brand of food for the small.
Yeah, exactly. And we talked about education, but we make it fun as well. So let me tell you something. A hamster, little creature that many of us have had as a pet, in the wild, a Syrian hamster will cover about 8 miles every night hunting moths and bugs. So in our hamster food, not only do we put bugs, they eat protein, they're meat eaters, amongst other things. That's just fascinating. You tell people that, and we do on the packet, so that's why your hamster needs a run and a wheel to run around on. It needs to keep fit, and nutrition and diet is an important part. We've, as leaders in the field, so Burgess Pet Care and Burgess XL as the lead brand, that gives us a responsibility to pull all these various themes together. So we pull together the vets. The vet community are very supportive of us, and we work with them to make sure the nutrition is absolutely right. We also work with the best retailers, because a lot of pet shops, of course, sell pets. So we have big training programs. We try to help them give the right advice. And of course, they are very conversant with animal welfare and education of their staff, so we help there. We educate the public, of course. So one of the things I was just talking to somebody earlier on, once you've bought your pet, and if you do it right, you maybe see the vet once or twice a year, but actually you'll buy a packet of food every month. So in some ways we talk to the consumer every month. So we make very sure that the messages on the packet are useful, educational, interesting. And of course we can direct people to our website, and obviously via your website is a great route as well, to just give good sound practice.
Very well. It's a big responsibility you have to educate people about how to feed your pet properly and how to look after your pet properly. And not only is it a food thing, but also an education on how to care properly for you.
We will come back time and time again to rabbits. It's something at Burgess that we care passionately about, because Your viewers may or may not know, but there's about 8.5 million dogs in the country, 9 million cats. There's 1.5 to 2 million pet rabbits. It's a large number. However, the general level of understanding how to care for them is low. So most people's influence is Bugs Bunny eating a carrot or Peter Rabbit. Actually, it's wrong. They don't eat carrots. They should be eating grass, dried grass, hay. And Burgess XL has got the endorsement of the vets because we've pushed that message. They have particular needs, and a rabbit is different to a guinea pig, and is very different to a hamster, and is completely different to a ferret. Right, so grouping all the small animals together is a mistake. And we've really pioneered, in fact, we coined the phrase fibrivores, because rabbits and guinea pigs need a lot of fibre in their diet. It's essential. And essential is maybe an overused word, but without it, they will suffer. So unless they get the fibre, their teeth don't wear down, which means they overgrow, and that's very painful. Their digestive system doesn't actually work, which we won't go into it, but that's a very horrible way to die if your digestive system doesn't work. And actually, emotionally, in the wild, a rabbit spends about 70% of its waking hours cropping and nibbling on grass. So if it can't spend a lot of its waking hours as a pet nibbling away and gnawing on things, it'll get distressed. And many owners will be familiar with fur plucking or biting the cage or chewing on the skirting boards. Well, that says the diet's probably wrong. So turn to the XL feeding plan, and a lot of that is solved. So quite serious messages, but never forget these are pets and we want to enjoy them. And we can bring both those dimensions in a show like this, educate about the serious side of it, but also show the great fun. We talked about the Rabbit Grand National, seeing rabbits out, bunnies out, jumping. Well, we've seen it. It's fantastic, 2-3 feet high. And that's really changed a lot of opinions that these are active, healthy, fit little pets. And if we get that message across, then at Burgess we're doing something right.
Well, I'd just like to thank you for taking the time to speak to me, Paul. And I'd like to thank Burgess Pet Care for inviting us here to film the show, and we look forward to presenting you with some great